Hello, 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 guys. How are you guys doing? Happy new moon, or is it? I hate to say it, but it's probably not that great of a good moon, new moon. Um, so I am a few minutes late. I apologize. I had a client here with a phonograph, guys. This guy refurbishes phonographs. If you don't know what a phonograph is, you're way young. But it is like the old-fashioned crank record players. And if you don't know what a record player is, you need to Google it. But or Google phonograph. This gentleman, he's 71 years old, and he does amazing work. Anyway, so I had a client before this. Welcome to the new moon reading and also astrology. So, for those of you that are brand new, I am in my leather shop, guys. I'm still in my leather shop. Hey, Felix, welcome. And I'm probably going to be here for a while because my daughter is studying hard and getting used to going back to school. So, welcome to my leather shop. But we're talking about the new moon today. So for those of you that are brand new, the way I do it is I talk a little bit about the astrology. I mean, the energies. I try not to go into the sextiles and the squares and the quincunx and all those kind of things. But I do want to give you the energies because if you have not been feeling this new moon and the Mercury retrograde, you are on another planet. Because I don't know about you guys, but even my technology for the last 2 to 3 days has been going bonkers. So even at work, and I can't talk about this at work because I can't say, oh, wow, hey, it's a Mercury retrograde, because even my boss was having computer problems and problems with all kinds of technology. And I'm just like, yeah, it's going to keep going until October 18th, guys. But my phone, in fact, I was listening to an inspirational speaker. This is happening to you. Just get used to it until the 18th. Because I was listening to an inspirational speaker. My phone's actually upside down. I have an older car, so it's upside down. And I do this every day. And all of a sudden I hear beep, beep, and it's calling 911. So anyway, it's Mercury retrograde is having fun. And it's not only Mercury retrograde. Now we've got Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto playing in here with the new moon, because all the planets are sort of direct, which means they're moving forward except Mercury. And this is playing with the new moon. So we have a new moon in Libra, which Libra loves to find things. Libra, when it comes to astrology, it's about finding the solution or finding how to do something or finding. It doesn't sit there and really work on what is happening. It wants to find a way to do that. And I'll share about that with you in a minute. So all the planets right now are moving in direct. They're moving forward the way they're supposed to be moving, except Mercury, which is causing a kerfuffle. And the reason why is Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury, they can't see each other. So it's sort of like other planets are in the way, or the sun and the moon is in the way, so they can't see each other. So with this new moon, communication is really conflicted. It's like they're really frustrated. They can't see each other. So that means they're sort of like they're not on the same page. Maybe they're not even in the same book. So if you're having issues that people are not on the same page or not on the same book, or you're getting frustrated because of those energies, this is the three planets that are actually not being able to see each other. So they're like, hey, I don't know what page you're on. I'm on page 1. And oh, well, I'm done with the book, kind of a thing going on. Okay. So this is a good thing. And pretty soon all the planets will be going direct. After October 18th, when Mercury begins to go the retrograde is done. Praise God, is that we then move into moving out of that phase. I'll tell you what's going on with that, though, in a second. Because as you know, with this new moon energy that we have in Libra, it's going to be a really harder new moon. So we've got the 2-3 days before the new moon, 2 to 3 days after the moon. I will say watch your news today, because the reason why is with all these other planets happening, it's conflicting energy, and sometimes it's devastating energy. If you watch, maybe I don't know if it'll happen. I'm not psychic, and I'm not God, because if I say it's going to happen, God could say, yeah, well, I'll show you, right? And it's not going to happen. But we might have earthquakes. We might have a volcano erupt. We might have some political upheaval, you know, politics kind of stuff. But there is something that is very destructive about the energies that are happening right now. And this could also mean for you guys communication. So be really, really mindful today in this new moon, to be articulate in a way that you're uplifting. And when something comes to mind that you want to argue, or you want to have some type of upheaval, or you don't agree with it, try to diffuse that energy right now, because if you do, it's going to be destructive. If you allow that energy to come out, it may be destructive in that thought process. So be really, really mindful of what comes out of this here today, because it could be really destructive, not only today and tomorrow, because these energies are really powerful. Why is this energy powerful? Because even though the planets are moving direct, we have 4 planets in one quadrant that are moving very, very slowly. I mean, they're not even moving like a quarter of a degree. So what does that mean? It means these energies are powerful. So we've got Saturn, which is very much about structure, you know, making sure that things are in order, making sure things are done a certain way and right. But then on the opposite side of that, we have Uranus, which is a free spirit, like, oh, let's just let it all go. So you've got this huge conflict, like, no, you're not going to do this. No, you're going to, oh, but I want to, you know, it's that wanting to, but it doesn't get to do it. Why? Because we got Saturn and Jupiter also in this today. And what's happening is it's creating a conflict. Well, I want to do it. You know, it's sort of like when I talk to you guys about the spirit versus the flesh. So your spirit and your head is your flesh. You know, you really want something, even though you know it's probably not good for you, but you go and do it anyway. That's the flesh speaking. That's the world speaking. That's the earth speaking. And that's where your process is sort of off. But the thing is that when you look at spirit, spirit is more, you know, it's not black and white, because we can't see it. We've got to go by faith. We got to go by hope. We got to go by, okay, I know I can't see it, but I know it's there. Trust me, I've been there. I know, done that. Okay. So this moon is not really the best of new moons, but there is a good thing about this moon. Okay. It's setting us up for the end of the year. We're like in a holding pattern, and we're holding to be moving forward. We're moving forward, but it's not allowing us to move forward. Does that make sense? So we are in a holding pattern, like, okay, everything is starting to turn and move. It's like the COVID and the pandemic. Things are starting to turn. They're moving, but we're not seeing any progress really. Okay, so everybody's getting vaccinated and doing this, but we're still seeing high numbers. Okay, so things are just like still trying to work out, setting us up. Okay, so that's what this new moon is doing, along with the planets. When I talk about the new moon, you're going to hear me talk a lot about the planets, because a lot of that is interaction. So the new moon and the sun are opposite of each other in this sense, but it's definitely, I'm looking at Pluto too, sorry. But it's definitely on the opposites. So it's like opposites attract, you know, kind of thing. It brings you together kind of a thing. But we're sort of in this holding pattern, and that's going to go until January and February. Now, what are we in a holding pattern for? For things of better. So as I told you guys in the last readings, I've told you in your readings, and I tell you about Mercury retrograde. It's all about communication with Mercury. It's you know, not only your technology and stuff, but it's your relationships. So we're like in this holding pattern with whoever we are needing to partner with, interact with, that kind of a thing. So if it's a friend, if it's a relationship, if it's a marriage, we've got this really hard stuff to get out on the table. I talked to you guys in your readings about getting the elephant out of the room. So a lot of this right now with this new moon energy, the thing with the new moon in Libra is it's trying to find a solution. Okay. It's trying to find something, and it's like working at it. And same with your communications with whoever you're going with, trying to get this vulnerability out on the table. Those ones or people that are holding and stuffing feelings down that really need to come out, because that's really low vibrational. You really need to get those out. This is that time to do that, because come January, February, you want all that garbage gone, and not because it's a new year. It's the way these planets are working, right? So what's happening is this really hard communication that needs to happen for, I can't remember what sign it is. Maybe it's Leo's, but it had to do with financial overspending. Okay, these are hard topics to have. Well, I've overspent, or I've maxed out my cards, or I don't know how to get my budget under control. These are hard conversations to have. Or, you know, you're in a relationship. If you haven't had a relationship talk about having children, and you're like, okay, well, I want children. And he's thinking, well, I don't want children, but you know what? That's okay. You know, we haven't talked about it, so we're not going to have children. These are the hard conversations. Also, vulnerability. This is the time to be vulnerable, to get it out, whatever it is. Sometimes it's really hard to talk about, like when I had to finally come out and talk about my sexual abuse, and I actually had to face the person, and I didn't. I wrote a letter, and I literally mailed it. I don't know how many coaches and counselors and therapists tell people to write a letter and not mail it. Mail it. I'm sorry, in my coaching, I say mail it. You know, you do it in love, but you sit there and say, you do not realize what you have done. You do not realize the effect of all my life, of how it affected me, and that kind of a thing, because a lot of people don't realize that, you know, and you send it, and most of the time they're going to deny it, you know, but this is for your healing, not their healing. And I'm talking to another lady just these last couple of days, who she's got to do certain things for her healing. You know, this is not about the other person. This is about you and your healing. Again, this is this energy, this new moon energy. Whatever you need to do to get it out on the table, do that for your healing. Okay. So definitely that is what the new moon, the new moon is doing. It's setting up. And this is there. It's a time where you have to really pay attention. This is a super big time for you to pay attention, because this is where your spirituality will come in. This is where your intuition will come in. This is where, you know, that little nudge saying, I really shouldn't be with this person. But you're going ahead and doing that. These are the times where you're almost have to do your spiritual awakening. Really pay attention to what divine is doing, because it's in the dark where he works. And we're in the dark right now. We're in the dark right now. We're in the big shadow right now. So this is where we really want to focus in on, to begin to clear everything out before the end of the year. January, February, it's going to release hope. Okay. And that's what we have right now. Okay. With the new moon energy, we are releasing hope. We are releasing that there is a solution to the problem. We're releasing that to divine and saying, you take care of it. I need a solution. Show it to me. That's Libra energy. So it could come out of the blue. It could come in a thought, you know, because I always talk to you guys about divine and God and how he comes in many different ways. He could come, you could see something and like, oh, that's it. Or you could hear something, oh, that's it. Oh, you know, whatever it is, it's going to come out of the blue. That is divine energy. It's also planetary energy, but it is divine energy giving you those solutions and those things. Now, we also have to remember on the 7th, which is tomorrow, we have Mars mixing in, Mars is sort of like a mediator at this point. Mars comes in and he's like, okay, where can I help? Where can I make sure that you're walking in the truth and you are walking in the truth, because you're lying and this person's not, blah, blah, blah. How can we do this? If you've ever been in a court system, usually there is a mediator so that you guys don't get in a fight or start conflicting and get off. And then they're a diffuser. Mediator's a diffuser, put it that way. Okay. So here's the thing, that Uranus, the moon, and Mars on the 7th are all coming together sort of at that point where I was saying that they can't see each other. Okay, so tomorrow it's going to be really a confusing day. So it's sort of an annoying day, an irritating day, a fiery day. But it's the reason why it is that way with these three planets is they're trying to create harmony. Hey, Abigail, welcome, welcome. These three planets are trying to create harmony, but they're not on the same page, so they can't. So it's frustrating. So the efforts of trying to do something tomorrow, don't get frustrated. again, you might get that aha moment that something is going to, break through, because the Uranus energy is your free will. But then we got Saturn on top of it. So, and then we got the new moon energies there. So give yourself a little slack. If things start getting irritated, your anxiety gets up or your depression gets up and it's annoying, just know that things are starting to come together, even though you cannot see them. This is where divine or God is working in the dark under the ground. You can't see the seed. Remember, I talked to you guys about that. You can't see the seed planted, but you know something's happening down there. You don't know how far it is. So imagine this time, this month, the rest of this month. This is going to go to the end of the month, except it'll be great when Mercury retrograde leaves on the 18th. We'll have like that was a crappy 30 days. I don't know about you, but boy, yeah, it's just a challenging 30 days. But the thing is that harmony is being created. So once these energies are gone, after the end of the month, there's going to be like a little ray of hope, a little ray of sunshine, if you want to call it that kind of a thing. And that's because of the Uranus energy, because it's still fighting with communication. So it can't really see the solution, even though it's trying to find it, because divine hasn't released that aha moment or out of the blue or, oh, why didn't I think of that? It's been in front of me all the time. That's that energy that's been happening. All right. So again, and then what we have happening on the 7th as well is Saturn is sort of at a midway point. And so it's sort of trining with Jupiter. And then we have the moon also there. But it's sort of like Saturn is saying, no, you can't do this. And then Jupiter's like, come on, let's go with it. Let's flow with it. Let's expand our imagination. Why do you have to be so strict, Saturn? Let's expand our imagination. Have that free will, the Uranian energy, the Uranus energy, that kind of a thing. And Saturn's like, no, we need structure. We need organization. We need this kind of thing. So there's that fight again with that going on. All right. But what you want to do during this really confusing, communicative struggle time is, one, focus on the energies of the solution. That was my big key for this day and through the rest of October, especially through this retrograde. Don't focus on the problem or the elephant in the room. Focus how you can create a solution for that. So let's say a really silly example, because this used to be a fight in my house way back when with my ex-husband. I used to work really hard and I come home and cook dinner and I was exhausted. And so I would just, once I was done, dishes in the sink, go sit down, try to relax for an hour before I have to go to bed, and then get up and do it all over again. And I would do the dishes in the morning. And one time I woke up in the morning and it had a big note saying, no dirty dishes in the sink overnight, not acceptable. And I'm like, excuse me? The little devil started coming out. But the thing was that his perspective, he grew up with waking up at the house is nice and clean. It's nice and fresh. I was exhausted. I was like, you want the dishes done? You get them done. I worked my butt off all day. And now I come home to a kid and doing cooking and blah, blah, blah. But see, this is where our argument was. How do we come to the solution that we both can compromise on and understand each other's perspective? Okay, I understand that you woke up and you like that. Okay, please understand I'm exhausted. How are we going to make this happen? So let's do the dishes together at night. End of story. Pretty easy peasy. But that's what I'm talking about, is finding the solution, whatever you're going through with your boss, with a friend, with a family member. Remember, there's a lot of I'm feeling a lot of toxic energies in families right now. I don't know why, but I sure feel a lot of toxic energies in families right now. And people that do that, allow that toxic things to happen with your family. Would you allow it with your friends? HE double toothpicks, no. So don't allow it with your family, okay? Because that's teaching them how to treat you. So I don't know why I went off on there, but there's a lot of toxic energies. I'm getting that from a lot of Even at work, the energies I feel off of people, I'm like, oh my gosh, by the time I leave work in the day, I'm like, I need to defrag. Because as an empath, I don't absorb it, but I can't help but be around it. And sometimes I'm working in my mind. I cannot control my bubble. And so sometimes energies get in. So anyway, that's off the story. So just know that after the 7th, we're starting to get this like, okay, this new moon is done. These planets are all now moving direct. We've just got one planet that wants to keep going in retrograde, and that's Mercury. Okay. So there is sort of a hope. If you focus in on the solution and not the elephant in the room to try to come in compromise, that is going to help you guys out. It's going to help you a ton. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of raw energies. A lot of raw energies, a lot of raw feelings. Okay, now remember, you guys, feelings, feelings are just feelings. Okay, they don't have thought. They're just feelings. So remember, when you're feeling something, that is not your thought process. Okay, that is just you saying, this is how I feel. But there's no actual facts to it. There's no actual thinking process, spiritual process. It's just how you feel. So that's why I tell you guys a lot of the time, don't live your life on just feelings. It's like, well, as soon as I hear somebody say, well, I feel, and we're talking about something like at work or something that has to do with a logical process and maybe not my process at work, I can't write the policies and procedures. Well, I could, but the thing is, I'm not in control of that. So whether I feel we shouldn't be doing this, well, that's good. I'm glad you feel that way. That's not the way we do things. So it's not a thought process when you come to a feeling. So that's why I tell you guys, especially now with what's going on between now and the 18th, keep that mind in your head. But here's the thing about the 18th, guys. Mercury retrograde is ending, but it's going to take a couple of weeks, because when you have a planet that's in retrograde and it's getting ready to go to direct or vice versa, it slows down to almost a stop. Will you imagine this humongous planet? It just doesn't go from 0 to 60 in 1.2 seconds. It has to rev up, rev up, rev up, and it takes time. And it could take 1 to 2 weeks. So these energies, that's why I'm saying it's going to last through October. These energies are to focus in on the hope of the solution, because after the retrograde is done and gone, you're going to have a humongous relief. And it's going to feel like, wow, I'm glad we talked about that. I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I kept moving forward, because again, we're in a holding pattern. That holding pattern is going to last through the end of the year. Things are moving, so keep moving, keep your feet moving, keep whatever your passions are, keep whatever things that you want to keep moving forward to, keep it moving. Just understand that you might not see the process move just yet. But then when when it's all done, it'll be like cut loose. Woo! Just sort of like a slingshot. You hold it back and all of a sudden you're holding. And then it's just like, let go. And it's just like, wow. Yeah. Okay. All righty. So I love that you guys are here. If anybody else is here, please say hello. Tell me where you're from. I'm going to do a real quick reading. That's what I do. Guys, I've got a big announcement coming up towards the end of the month. It's a good one, though. It's a good one. Some of you guys will like it. Some of you won't. I'll lose some people, and that's okay. I'll gain some people, maybe. That's okay, too. I would love it. But do remember, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And then also, too, I'm trying by the end of the year to get to 1,000 subscribers. And then I will give 3 30-minute readings away to 3 different people, and 3 coaching, 30-minute coachings if you want. And those ones that I picked for coaching, if you say, no, I'd rather do a reading, fine, we'll do a reading. Not a problem. You don't want help? That's your thing. No, I'm just joking. I'm in one of those moods today. So make sure that you know. So this week, if you're looking for my lives, I should have brought my calendar in here. They're changing my schedule around all the time now. I'm on live on Wednesdays this week and next week. and then on Sunday sometimes. So the rest of the readings will be this week uploaded, but I will be doing some readings later this afternoon or early this evening. People don't come on in the evening, so I don't know why I do them live, but I just like it. So there we go. Okay, so moon energy, waking the lion. Okay, definitely going on with Saturn and Jupiter. It is waking the lion, is finding out what it is that you need to work through and find the solution for that right now. It is the number 10, guys. It's the number 10. I can't make that up. Where is that? Can you guys see it? Anyway, it's the number 10. So something is ending. This conflict is going to be ending. Whatever it is that you need to clear out, it's going to be ending because you have a new hope, a new, it's sort of like almost a catapult. Once you get it out of the closet, we get out of all that kind of stuff. It's going to be an amazing energy. So waking the lion, get it clear, find the courage to get out and do whatever you're supposed to do, say whatever you're supposed to say. Get these stuffed feelings, because I sure feel a lot of you guys are stuffing feelings and are living in fear to share those feelings. Why is it so hard to tell somebody that you love them? If you love them, you love them. There's so many ways to love. And that's the thing, is if you think that they're going to panic about it, just say, hey, did you know that there's 8 different levels of love and 5 love languages? I just love you as my friend. I love you as a partner. I love you just to be there. Affirmations go a long way, but why are people so afraid of it? I mean, I did that to a guy. I said, hey, I love you. And he flipped out and thought, oh my gosh, you're in love with me. No, I said, I love you. You're my friend. I would do anything for you. And it just threw him into a loop. He didn't talk to me for like a week and a half. And I said, dude, relax. So if you can't say it to a dude, then you know what? That's what they think, it all off in the direction of sex and all that kind of stuff. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, not all men are that way. So yes, this is very interesting because with this new moon energy, what is going on? We don't know. We're moving into the unknown. And if you talk to any astrologer that is a master astrologer, like one of the guys I'm learning it very slowly, but I call him my mentor because, you know, you're learning from one person in one way, but I do listen to others to make sure that maybe there's more other ways to learn about it. But I keep going back to him because he's a master and he's amazing. He's right on the mark. But this into the unknown energy is we don't. Again, I just told you about, you know, the divine working in the dark, that seed. We don't know what is happening. We don't know what is going on, but something is happening. That is right now. You know what? Every time I have held these cards this week, they've always been upside down. I don't know what's going on because I'm upside down, I guess, this week. So really understand that we're in a holding pattern. We're into the dark. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. I do know that the Libra energies and the way that the planets, there's some destructive energies here. So this real new moon and into the end of October, these destructive energies got to just try to, when you really want to bite your tongue or flip somebody off or say something low vibration, hold it. Hold that tongue, because once it comes out or once you do it or once you say it or whatever, you can't take it back. And this is not a time to do that. Try to diffuse. Okay? So, all right. King of Pentacles. Definitely King of Pentacles. Again, the signs that are spending too much and over their budget. Definitely. This is a time to get those honed in. Remember, we're focusing in on the solutions of what our problems are. You buy out of need, not want. If you're overspending or if you're addicted to Amazon, boy, I almost got there because after these last couple of months, I noticed I was on Amazon. It was too easy to spend money. Boy, that could be addicting. Be really careful because it is about your choices. Okay, your Wheel of Fortune. Okay, it is about your choices for these next couple of weeks. Really pay attention. Do I need this or is this a want? Okay, for those that are on in financial things, you will be surprised because this takes courage. This takes discipline. This takes energy that will drain you for a little while until you get a hold of that pattern of doing that. When I was homeless, I was buying out of wants, and my friend said, "You can't afford that," and I'm like, "Yep. Why? Why? Well, what do you mean?" You know, you're basically living out of your car, and you want to buy this, and you have no home. Okay, so it's like, oh yeah, my brain was really twisted in my thought process. My core foundation was so twisted back then because of all the stuff that had happened to me. I hadn't learned how to change the process of my thinking. So I started buying out of needs rather than wants. And boy, did that was hard. That literally took courage. And the thing was, it turned my life around quickly because I was overspending. I was spending on stuff I shouldn't have spent it on. And definitely, and then I also got resources to help me out, to, you know, get some, what do you call it? Food stamps or financial, you know, help back then, and in the legitimate way, not borrowing from everybody. And I got myself and pulled myself up by the bootstraps, changed my life around, but it didn't change my life around 100% until I surrendered to divine. I literally surrendered everything. I was on my knees, bawling, bawling, bawling. And I said, "You take it. I can't do this anymore." And literally changed my life 100%, 200% in a 180. And life has been peaceful, calm. I love life. I just look for every day. I wake up and I say, you know what? What do you want me to do? Who do you want me to touch? Where do you want me to go? Let me service. Okay. So again, Pentacles. Oh, wow. Somebody is losing sleep. Again, over money, over a relationship. Somebody is losing sleep over a relationship. Oh, and look at this. This is your challenge card, the 10 of Cups. This is your challenge card because it's not happening. This should be happening, the 10 of Cups. This should be happening. But all it's going to take is some wisdom. And I think that's why Divine just had me share that story. I'll tell you right now, it's been really an interesting journey. Felix, you've been with me the whole time, but this has been a really interesting journey. If you've watched me at all through this journey, when I first started the tarot channel, I struggled with it because I didn't know how it all worked, didn't know what. But in these last couple of months, it's like I was looking, if you go back and look at last week's thumbnail, um, it's like my, it sort of blew my mind because I was like, wow, I don't look, and I used to be this way. My daughter used to call it crazy eyes. It looks like one eye's going one way, another eye's going another way. But the thing is, I'm in the spirit. I don't, you guys, I honestly don't know what the cards are going to come up. I don't know the scenario, but the thing is, I let go of my human side, my flesh side. I'm getting goosebumps. Flesh side, and I let spirit come through. And I'm talking about God divine. I don't let the angels come through. I don't let anybody else come through. I used to, and then I had entities in my house all over the place, and I had to stop that. That's why I'm talking about, you have to be really, really careful and mindful who you let in, because right now it's like I don't even know what I'm saying half the time because I hear it, but I can't believe I'm saying this because it's not me. So it's just a really, I've stepped up another level that I don't understand. I embrace it because I hope it helps somebody. All right. But it's been a really interesting journey. I'm excited to see where he goes next year. But I think he's bringing it to this other channel. So anyway, so somebody is losing sleep. They're losing. So we've got the 9 of, but here's the thing. Thank you. So here's the thing is we've got Pentacles here with the new moon. You got to remember, we're in the new moon energies and the planet energies. Somebody's fighting over their finances or trying to figure them out, how to get more money, how to make things happen. And you've got the 9 of Pentacles right there. The 9 of Pentacles is sort of at the end, but not quite there. Like whatever you're thinking might be where you're supposed to be thinking, but it's just, you haven't implemented it. Thank you. You haven't implemented it, he said. And and that's your choice if you're going to implement it or not. It's sort of like me. I could have, when I was homeless, I could say, yeah, I need to buy out of needs. And then I don't do anything. I just keep buying out of wants. It's not going to help me. Okay. Center card of your guys is the 9 of Swords. 9, 9. We got 10s. We got 1s. We got things completing, things starting new. We don't know what's going to happen. You just got to, you have to keep the high vibrations up in thinking and hoping and promising. Okay. You got to think and hope and have faith. Thank you. He's like, have faith. Have faith that it's going to change for the better, because it is. It is. I wish I could share what's all in my head with you guys. It's just like I just want to vomit it out and show you, but it is going to be really good. It's on the upward swing. Okay. And we have the Two of Cups. So this is going to be an upward swing, dependent on your footing. If you're moving forward, if you're moving backwards, oh, but this happened to me before. Oh, this relationship I'm worried about, it's going to be the same thing. I got a guy that I was really interested in. I'm still interested in him, but he's stuck. He's so stuck on what happened to him in this last relationship. He's never going to move forward. He's never going to have happiness with a woman because he just can't get past that stuckness. So the number 2 in this case, you got to be really careful because we've got Saturn energy and Uranus energy. So one is controlling and one is freedom. So it either can bring this partnership together or it can blow it apart. But the one thing about it, there's got to be balance. Okay. So if you're working with somebody and you're trying to make things better, try to move forward together, make sure that you're in balance with each other. Okay. Or it's going to dissipate or it's going to be strained. Okay. And straining means that's flesh. And a lot of the times when we do things of flesh, it dissipates anyway. So you get a relationship based on what you want, in your head, not what divine has sent you, then it'll dissipate anyway. But the number 2 is about bringing balance. So when you have these hard conversations with the new moon, Saturn, Mercury, Uranus, Jupiter, all these planets, just make sure that you're keeping things in balance. You're compromising with each other to a point that you both are okay with the solution, the outcome. Make sure that you both are like, okay. And it's not like, yeah, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Okay. No, I need to know that you're really okay with this because we don't want to visit this in the future. And that's the problem. That's why the Emperor is there. The Emperor is about wisdom. The Emperor is about learning and growing from being wise and understanding. How do you get that? With clarity. So this is a time to get clear with both of you energies, your perspective, their perspective, and what they believe in. And if you agree to disagree, you leave it there in the middle and you do not revisit it again. It's like, I can't talk to my daughter about a certain topic because no matter how I present it, I'm not going to change her mind. She's her own individual. So we agree to disagree and we don't discuss that topic. It's sort of, I hate to say it, but the vaccination, I don't discuss that topic. Whether I agree with you or disagree with you, it doesn't matter. It's a very personal decision, but I will not discuss it because it is between me and God, and that's the way I'm going to go with it. And if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Okay. And that's the thing is, that's not, you just agree to be in the middle and compromise. Hey, let's just make this something that we're not going to talk about. That's being wise. Okay. And then your challenge card again is the 10 of Cups. I want you guys to have this. I want you to have everything you desire and you want and everything. The planets are saying, yes, okay, I'll give you hope. I'll give you, as long as you have faith that things are going to turn around and things are going to happen because you cannot see. Just trust that things are working. Okay, we're in that holding pattern, like I said. Trust that while you're in that holding pattern, that you know that things are going to change for the better. I don't know why. I used to fly little planes, and every time, the first time I went up, they was like, well, we're going to do the holding pattern. I'm like, I don't even know there's a pattern, let alone a holding pattern. What the are you talking about? And so the thing was that he's like, well, there is a pattern, the way that you come into an airport, the way that you go out of an airport, and the way that you move around an airport if the tower says, I need you to hold. So there's a pattern that you do, and you just go around in this one way of a pattern. It's a square, actually, it's a rectangular pattern that you do up above the air. So if you hear that you're captains say we're in a holding pattern, that means they're just going around the airport until they have a clear runway to be able to land. But the thing is, you still have to land, and you do land, and you land fine. That's the thing that you have to know. We're in the holding pattern in the sky going around the airport. And soon, in these next couple of months, we're going to get the okay to land, and things are going to take off in a different way. Okay, and take off in a better way. So just know that. All right, know that. So for those of you that are really stressing right now, because you are, some of you are not eating right, some of you are not sleeping right, some of you can't fall asleep. Okay, I should do a whole video on that. But the thing is, you can fall asleep just like that. It's just the way that you train your brain, and also what you release before you go to sleep, because you're holding on to all this stuff. When you fall asleep, you're going to have it when in the morning. If you release it before you go to sleep, you say divine or God or Holy Spirit. You don't give it to the angels. The angels are there for a communication thing, but you can go direct. I'm sorry, but you can go to direct. And if they want to take it up the ladder, go take it up the ladder. However, I'm going direct to divine. Take this tonight. I need to sleep. I need you to take this problem, this solution, and run with it. Do whatever you want with it, whatever your will is, and allow me to sleep and go to sleep. And before you know it, when you keep doing that, and then in the morning you pick it up, and it might actually even be resolved in your subconscious or in your conscious mind when you're walking through the day. You'll be really surprised once you release it. Okay. But again, to finalize all this stuff, guys, it is about communication. Whoever is dealing with money issues, get them in handle now. Get them, and bankruptcy isn't really the way to go. I'll tell you right now, it is not the way to go. You think that I did that way back in 92 and I thought, oh, that's going to help me out. No, it really didn't. It kept me stuck for years anyway. It might have eliminated the bills for the moment, but the thing is that my thought process was still broken, and I got into that same bad pattern again. So it doesn't help because your pattern, your thought process isn't to the point where you're going to change and grow from it. Took me 2 times, guys. I didn't do the bankruptcy twice, but took me 2 times to really hit rock bottom financially, to realize, okay, my thought process is broken. Not my money or anything. My choices and decisions were breaking the bank. So lastly, the energy is, it does take courage. Waking up that lion, it is the number 10, time to close the door on something so that this new door can open. We don't know what that is. I don't know what it is for you. I do know what it is for me because he's shown me. And I really don't know if I'm fighting this new channel, but he wants me to do it. And I'll wait until I really get the go ahead, and then we'll go for it, because I don't think I'm qualified. So anyway, just don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid of it. Be excited for it, because when you have the 10 of Cups, what do you have to lose? You don't have anything to lose. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. Awesome. Awesome. Kind of a thing. All right, you guys. That has been the new moon reading and the planets. And again, with the numerology part, we're looking at we're looking at 2 9s, 2 10s. We're looking at a 2 for balance, actually 3 10s. 3 10s. Something is saying, end it, whatever it is, so that I can open a door. The 9s, it's not there yet, because somebody has to walk in it. Somebody has to actually do it and say it, or whatever it is, because then it brings balance back into your life. Okay, I don't know what it is for you guys. All right, that is your reading for the new moon and planets. Don't forget to please like, share, subscribe. And remember, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I seriously don't think I will. It'll take a miracle, but if it happens, that is the miracle, okay, by the end of the year. But I hope you enjoyed this, and share it. Please share, 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 share. And then also, too, we'll see you on your readings. Now, again, this is Wednesday. I've got a bunch of stuff to do this afternoon. I am going to do readings in the evening. It'll probably be around 6-ish, somewhere around there, 7 o'clock at the latest, Pacific Coast time. Otherwise, next week, I don't even know what next week is. Today is the 6th. So next Wednesday, You're very welcome, Felix. Next Wednesday live and sometime on Sunday live. And then the next week, I don't know what they're giving me off yet. They say Tuesday, Thursday, but I got appointments, so I'm gonna try to get it Tuesday, Wednesday, so I'm on live Tuesday and Wednesday, the third week of October. All right. Otherwise, we will see you soon. I have a new video I am editing right now. It's called I think it's how to choose healthy standards. Boundaries and Standards. That one will be out probably tomorrow. So look for a new video tomorrow. And I will talk to you next week. Take care, guys. Good seeing you. Thanks, Felix. Thanks, Abigail. Yeah, Abigail, I can't even talk anymore. My throat's sore today. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Take care.